Jai Hind, viewers, we welcome you back to another episode from MRO Digest Forums. Today, we have the privilege of having with us Major General K Eswaran, who retired as the Commandant of EME School, Vadodara. He is a super specialist in armored fighting vehicles, and I have had the privilege of serving alongside in service with him. As you know, comprehensive national power, there's one major aspect of it is human capital development. And that has been the center of a lot of work which General Eastman has done during his service. In fact, viewers, he has created a complete platform called Help and Serve. And if you go to that platform, the link is there in the show notes below. You will read what he has written there. I am reading it out to indicate to you the persona whom we are discussing with today. He states in that platform that this is an armed forces veterans initiative to provide a platform for all those who need help and all those who want to serve our community. He says that it's a purely non-profit venture to do good to our own people, and he says that there are many in the world who need help, and there are many others who are ready to serve, but the two are not always connected. A need, he says, was felt to have a platform where they could meet and interact, and that's how he created Help and Serve. With that background, I also want to tell you that he has been talking on a term which he has coined moral infrastructure, and that is going to be our area of discussion today. And he has written about it and talked about it, and it's our privilege to be having him with us on this episode today. So, General Eastman, the first question which I ask you is this: that what is this new term, moral infrastructure, coined by you? General Eastman, please.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the warm welcome and back to be on the platform again. And good to be with you all. So, moral infrastructure. What is it about? So, we know what physical infrastructures are, like roads, bridges, and buildings, and so many things we can see that and we build it every now and then. So, physical infrastructures are well known. And there is something known as the mental infrastructure. Mental infrastructure refers to the mental capabilities like knowledge, skill, wisdom, experience with which a person can do something. But do you think these two things are enough for a person or an organization or a nation to move ahead? If you want me to give an example, say for example, there's an electrician who is physically fit and physically strong and well able-bodied, and he has all the skill, knowledge of electrical systems and how to do the job. But if you give him a lakh of rupees and say, okay, go and change the wiring in my house, do you think he'll do it? He may catch the nearest bus to home. Because what you need, the third element is the character. He should have the integrity and character to do the job. Because after all, application of intellect is character driven. Similarly, suppose you have a huge building, a beautiful building created for a hospital. But only a building without anything else in there is only a building, it's not an hospital. So you stuff it up with all material required. Then, as a part of the mental infrastructure, you put some doctors who are well experienced, skilled, and knowledgeable doctors. Fine. Now you have a hospital building with everything in that and doctors also. So physical and mental part is covered. But till do you think hospital will work well? Unless it has some sense of sincerity, some integrity, some value system. If a hospital starts making a business of it and making money and doing all wrong things, then again, it will not work. So similarly, in every organization, the third element is that moral part. So this is where I'm referring to as moral infrastructure. Sadly, whenever a head of the organization comes to any establishment he takes over, he focuses on the physical part. Like in the army, you do goru, geru, chuna, polish, paint, etc. He focuses on those external things and little bit of, say, training part and training and development of skill of people under us. That happens in the factory or everywhere. But the third part, which is not visible, out of sight and out of mind, is the moral part. nobody focuses on developing the moral infrastructure, how to develop sincerity in a person, loyalty in a person, how to develop trust, how to make him trustworthy. Because finally, eventually, unless the person is good, unless the man is of good character, he will deliver. And that is the simple, the most important part, which links both mental and physical part. And that is something we are missing. So that is where a thought came to me that our country is so great and a beautiful country. We have wonderful leaders here. We have fantastic 5-year plans and so many other plans. Everything is very nicely made. But implementation, again, that's a question mark. Finally, there are so many transmission losses. Why is that in spite of all those plans that we have done so far, our country has not progressed as it should? We are progressing. We are only inching forward. With the kind of capability that our nation has, we should be in fact running and sprinting. So there, I feel there is something lacking, something is missing. We have many issues in this country, but all these things can be linked by one simple thing, a lack of moral fiber. If this nation had little bit more of the national moral fiber, I am sure we would have done much, much better. So that is what I am talking about, is a moral infrastructure. In fact, I have written a concept paper also on this, where I have given in detail how to develop moral infrastructure and how to talk about it, how to build up in a holistic manner.
So that's very nice. You mentioned about your concept paper. How does your concept paper approach the issue, generally speaking?
So now I'll again give you a small example. Suppose there is a red light crossing in the traffic. And we all know that when the light is red, we are not supposed to cross. But if there's a policeman standing there, you will find majority of the people not crossing the red light. But if you don't find a policeman there, they try to jump the signal. Why? We can't have a policeman after behind each and every of 140 crore population that we have. Can we do that? There has to be something inside, some inner moral compass, that when there is no policeman also standing at the traffic signal, we should not jump the light. Similarly, like people are, throwing, littering everywhere, throwing paper, spitting everywhere. So many things, small things in life, that you don't need a policeman everywhere. It has to be something inside. So that is where I thought of developing a holistic model. Like my concept paper, which is written, is basically a holistic model, and it is an inside-out approach. I don't want somebody to stand with a danda behind everybody, because you can't have danda behind everybody for all the time. Most of the time, people are free. So it is a holistic and inside-out approach, and also covers the person from womb to tomb. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, we all know a story about Abhimanyu and Prahlad also, like they were influenced by the environment while they were in the womb. Similarly, I would like to start from a womb of a person. Like a person, there are various stages that I have covered, various stages that it can be undertaken. From womb to the age of 3 years, when the child is with the mother, very closely with the mother. So that is the stage he can be influenced upon. And then from the age of 3 to 18, he goes to school. Again, the teachers influence him. From 18 to 24, he's in a college where teachers and professors influence him. And from 24 to the age of 60, he is with an organization, institution, working and building up his career, where again his peers, seniors, etc. influence him. And after 60 again, till the time of the womb, he goes to the tomb, that is till the last days of life. Again, the environment, etc. is influenced, he is influenced, and he also can influence the environment. So these are the various stages I have covered. And there are other institutions and agencies also which can work on this, like citizens. All of us are citizens. We as individuals can contribute and work on this. And there are organizations, institutions, like various organizations, institutions, establishment, they can work on this, and also the government. So I have put it in these manners, and all of us together can certainly make this nation much, much better. Now, one of the most important I've also spoken about is women empowerment. If you see that what I explained to you just now, a woman is involved with a person, with a child throughout his life. Woman as a mother, woman as a teacher, woman as a sister, woman as a wife, again, woman as a daughter, at every stage of life. So woman empowerment is again very important point which I focused here. If we empower a woman, make them really strong, and I'm sure that will have a major impact on the national strength and the national character. Here, I would also like to highlight something which I mentioned in my paper is about the Anti-Corruption Bureau. There's an ACB study which was carried out. It says that 10% people are totally incorrigible. I mean, you cannot change them. They're so incorrupt, they're so corrupt that you cannot change. They are can be written off. And another 10% people are scrupulously honest. Whatever you do, they'll never bend down. They are very, very straightforward. So these 10% on either side can be forgotten about. The balance 80% which is there, they are basically fence sitters or mockatarians as we call. They are basically very, very good people and nice people, but they tend to waver depending on the situation. So we have to focus on these 80%. And one more statistical data which I'd like to share is, like the entire population of 135 to 140 crores that we have, about 20-25% people are below poverty line who are fighting for, basic roti kapda makan, a day's meal also they have to fight for. And another about 40% people are such that they have part-time jobs. Like below poverty people naturally don't have any kind of a job. The 40%, the second stage which we have, these 40% people have some part-time job of 9 to 10 months, like coolies, laborers and contractors and all that. So they are able to sustain and manage their families. Somehow they are able to manage basic roti kapda makan, their things are met. The balance 30%, the top 30% of this country has everything. They have roti, kapda, makan, bangla, gadi, everything, pension, perks, salary, everything, the works. And they are well settled and well to do. They have got a lot of bank balance, everything. And the most surprising part is the majority of the corrupt people you find is in the top 30%. And that is something which I am not able to understand. So these are the things, that is the reason that I am working on this model of moral infrastructure. And I hope something is done about it.
Thank you for that. And so these, what you have mentioned, is it possible how can you relate it, how you can help people in the corporate world with this, Janishwan?
Now, this is something again very, very important because corporate world also has to do with business, and we have to work on that. Firstly, I would like to say that corporate people have to understand that it is the nation which comes first always. They are here today because of the nation. It is not the other way around. So they have to, whatever they work, they have to do in such a transparent and a good manner and a positive manner that enables them also to do their business and also empower the nation. Like they cannot, rock the boat in which they are living. So that is one important point. So they have to, whatever they do, has to be in consonance with the nature, environment also, and the nation. So that is a very, very clear point. And the thing which I had spoken earlier about the trust building. Now, what the corporate world can do is talk about building trust and being trustworthy. Now, building trust, there are many methods that we have suggested earlier, and there's another video in that we have worked on. The companies can work on building, making the employees trustworthy, and making the company trustworthy by various methods and processes, by just slightly tweaking their thought process. Everything is in a thought. By tweaking their thought process and little bit of their work culture without much of financial effect, it can be done easily. Once they are able to build confidence in the employers, you'll find that the employers are much more loyal, much more sincere, and much more concerned about the organization, and they would like to produce more and do better. And once a company is trustworthy, that also earns a good name. There are many trustworthy companies that we know of today. And naturally, a trustworthy company gets very good business. And in the long run, the company does well. And once we build up this environment of trust and being trustworthy all around, you will find that foreign investors also will come in large numbers. And if foreign investors also come more into this country, who benefits? All of us are going to benefit. So that is why the moral development part and the building trust part is very, very important for the overall development of the nation and betterment of the nation and all the citizens who are there in this nation.
Thank you very much for that. And viewers, on our channel, there is a video which was recorded earlier where General Eswaran has given his own experience on as to how he went and did this trust building in an MRO organization. I recommend that you have a look at it. In fact, General Ishwaran, I remember from that time when we were recording that you had followed a very meticulous, logical, sort of a structured approach to establishing how you can identify in this competition the trustworthy people. So it struck me then that maybe this can be a sort of a workshop can be created where anyone who's interested in implementing that particular process can be helped in creating their own structured approach to holding such uh, events, trust building events. What are your views on that?
Yes, we can organize workshops and lectures online or offline. There's no issue on that. And it's very, very simple and easy and practical way to do it. And there are many structured way to do it. There's no hassle on that. And I'm sure the companies and organizations and everybody will certainly benefit out of it.
Thank you for that. So, viewers, thank you for being with us for this episode. The link to General Eastman's LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. You're welcome to get in touch with him for any further information that you may need. If you like the material on our channel, please do subscribe to it. It's a channel for MRO professionals, and we talk on MRO, also on technical and other aspects of MRO, which are or MRO organizations which help in building comprehensive national power. So, looking forward to having you back with us, viewers, in our next episode. Thank you very much to General Eastman once again for his interaction with us. Jai Hind.